What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of Israil Madrimov versus Michel Soro 2, and this is going to be a 12-rounder for the WBA Final Super-Welterweight World Title Eliminator, and this fight is going to be Saturday, July 9th from the O2 Arena in London, England, and this fight is going to be broadcasted on DAZN. And to get into both fighters' resumes, Israil Madrimov, fighting out of Uzbekistan, holds a record of 8 wins with no defeats and 6 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 6 by BoxRec, and to list some of his best victories, he has a knockout win over Vladimir Hernandez. He also has a unanimous decision victory over Eric Walker. He has a unanimous decision win over power puncher Imani Colombo, and he is coming off his best victory by far, which was a knockout win over Michel Soro in their first fight. And to get his opponent's resume, Michel Soro, fighting out of France, holds a record of 35 wins with 3 defeats and 1 draw, with 24 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 30 by BoxRec in the super welterweight division. Sorry about that, but he really should be ranked higher in my opinion. I think he's definitely at least a top 15 or ranked fighter. Definitely not top 30 because he would beat all the guys around there. But he's also a former WBO Super-Welterweight World Title challenger. And to list his 3 defeats and his draw, first of all, he has a unanimous decision loss years ago against Zarabek by Sungarov. He also has a split decision defeat against Brian Castano, and he has a knockout loss, obviously, as I mentioned before, to Israil Madrimov in their first fight. And in his one and only draw, it came by majority decision against Antoine Douglas. And now to list some of his best victories, he has a knockout win over Glenn Tapia, a unanimous decision victory over John Vera, a knockout win over Anderson Prestott. He also has a knockout win over Cedric V2, and a knockout win over Greg Vendetti. And in my opinion, this fight is once again going to go in favor of the undefeated Israil Madrimov, and that this time, if he wins it, he will definitely be getting a world title shot in the near future, whether it be for the regular WBA title or the Super WBA title against a guy like Jermell Charlo. But I think he will be getting the job done once again here. I don't think this fight will be a stoppage once again because, Michel Soro, as he had mentioned before, or as everyone did talk about, after their first fight, the stoppage really did happen after the end of the round. Although Michel Soro was hurt, obviously he was hurt bad, but the referee stopped it after the bell sounded, as opposed to when the round was happening. And it wasn't like, we saw Soro stumbling back to his corner or something like that and he stopped it, or it was a corner stoppage. No, the bell sounded and Soro was still getting hit with punches, and then the referee waved it off. So, this time I think that although he's known as a boxer, he didn't really box as much in their first fight. He was coming forward a bit and fighting at mid-range and landing counter punches at mid-range. Here, I think he will be a bit more aware of Michel Soro's style. Michel Soro in their first fight was actually trying to box a bit on the outside a little bit. It didn't really work too bad considering the fight was really, really close up until the stoppage. I actually had the fight 76-76 a draw when I was watching it during the first fight. And the judges had it really close as well. One had it at my score. One had it 5-3, which is 77-75 for Madrimov, and one had it a bit wider at 78-74 in favor of Madrimov. So in this fight, I think it will be really as close as it was in the first fight. And in that first fight, it wasn't like Madrimov was really dominating towards the end when he stopped him. It was still close back and forth action. And in this fight, I think that we could see Madrimov utilize the counter-punching that he's known to have a bit more in this fight, as opposed to really being the one coming forward. And he could score a lot of points with his counter-punching. As Michel Soro, his style isn't really technical as Madrimov's, because Madrimov is really a pure technician in there. He's a great boxer, had great amateur pedigree, so he's really just got that very good, well-schooled style. But Michel Soro, he likes to keep his hands up. He has a high guard. He likes to come forward a bit as well. But in this fight, I think he will be fighting in mid-range a lot. But he could definitely come forward with his own combinations as well. And really, in this fight, I think it will be like the first fight. I don't really think that either fighter will really edge themselves in like the first half or the second half. I don't think it will be a fight fought between two halves. I don't think it will be a fight fought between like two quarters of this fight. So I think it could be back and forth action, just like the first fight. But I can't really pinpoint who will win each round by round. But I think it will be like the first fight, based on how both styles are very, very combative, and how these styles clash really, really well, just like the first fight where it's really, really close. I could see a lot of close rounds that could edge either way. And as I mentioned before, really those styles are going to be fought in this fight. Like with Madrimov, I think he's going to utilize the boxing a bit more, but he's definitely going to fight more mid-range as well and land counter punches, whilst Michel Soro will try and come forward a bit with his own combinations, and I think at some points he will also try and land counter punches at mid-range or even on the outside. So I think it will be a hard-fought, action-packed fight just like the first one, but I think instead of being a controversial stoppage, I think it will go the full judge's decision, and I think that the judges will score this bout 116 to 112, twice actually in favor of Madrimov. I do think that they will value his counterpunching a bit more, and I think that one judge will have it really, really close at 115 to 113, also in Madrimov's favor. So I think Madrimov will get a close, unanimous decision victory. Comment down below your thoughts on this fight. Who you think is going to win this rematch? I think Madrimov. So overall, I believe that Israil Madrimov will get his 9th victory to stay unbeaten and to get yet another win over Michel Soro, as I think this time it will be by unanimous decision. And I think that the judges will score this bout 116 to 112 twice and 115 to 113 once, all in favor of Madrimov to win this WBA final Eliminator. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.